Hi everyone, and welcome to the Tarot Down Under Roadshow. Here I am, still on the road, still in Bondi. So much has happened, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to get back to you before now. A lot going on, so much going on, so much still going on. But here we are. Thank you, of course, for your comments and keeping me up to speed with everything, because I haven't had the normal commitment I have to following every nuance of the news. I've only been getting the big strokes. So much to cover. The letter. Muller's letter set the cat amongst the pigeons, did it not? And the least he could do under the circumstances. Barr. Really? If special place in hell wasn't such an overused phrase, I would use it. What a fully disgusting, self-serving, righteous human being. How vile is Barr? Unspeakable. These Republicans are just unspeakable, and he's such a partisan hack. And not even a smart lawyer. When you look at his testimony, I'd love to see his law exams. I think he got through by the skin of his teeth. Truly foul. So, these awful people need the toss deck. Love using the toss deck. So let's have a look at some of these issues, see where it's going. Quick shout out to new viewers. Hope you like the channel. If you like Trump, you won't like the channel. It's a really simple arrangement. So nothing about Trump is, I think, good in the interests of America. Like nothing, absolutely nothing. Con artist, not even a successful con artist. And basically he managed to swan in because, and America collectively has to take responsibility for this, celebrity worship. If it weren't for The Apprentice, he wouldn't be president. If it weren't for the fact that half the potential voters didn't vote, he wouldn't be president. If the Russians hadn't intervened as successfully as they did, he wouldn't be president. So it's a confluence of factors that have led to this point. So this idea that the Kardashians have something to offer the world, it's the same mentality. We, in the global space, have to stop making this equation that if people are rich, they're interesting. No, they're not. If people are rich, they're better people. No, they're not. If people are rich, they do more and give more to society. No, they don't. That would be no. So we've all got to collectively revisit this idea of B and C and Z grade celebrities somehow being special. You know, it's a real issue. It's a problem. Okay, but I already digress. So let's move to the cards. So my first question is, what is the first question? I think it's about Barr, and I think it's about, will Barr's interference in the process just get forgotten? You know, will it be accepted? Will it be forgotten? Or will it end up having some traction we don't expect? Let's have a look at the outcome of William Barr's role as Attorney General. Second time he's been Attorney General. He managed to dig George Bush Sr. out of the toilet. He's obviously good at defending very ordinary and aggressive presidents. So, William Barr, what will the outcome be for America? I'm not interested in personally if he never gets a job again, or if he does. I'm interested in how it affects America. How will Barr's interference affect America? What does the toss deck have to say about Barr? William Barr and America. Oh, sorry. Prince of Discs. I don't think of him in princely terms, but there we go. It is the toss deck. So, look. Oh, interesting outcome, viewers. This actually tells quite a juicy little story. I hope it's right. I please hope it's right. In the middle, Prince of Discs, Prince of Money. He's working for those with the money. He's working for himself. This is a selfish prince, using the trappings of power. He's pulled by the bull. It's very like the Chariot because he's physically in a chariot. But I would point out he's naked. He's been revealed. So will people accept what he's done is what the rest of the reading's about. This is him, even though he comes across as just a dumpy, frumpy, sort of mediocre player. He happens to have one of the most powerful positions in the world, so that's the Chariot factor. But he's now naked. Everything he does will be watched and examined. He's waited for this, the Hanged Man, and he's prepared to be a willing sacrifice. It's an element of the Hanged Man to fulfill his own personal ambitions. I'm not seeing anything here to indicate he thinks about the country for 10 minutes. This is all about him. There's a cruelty to William Barr that isn't obvious. You look at some of these players, the Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan types, that they look like cruel men. Even Trump looks like a cruel, decadent man. Barr doesn't, but he is. There's a cruelty here. And it's very cruel what he has actually done. Now, right over the prince, which is rocked by power, ruled by power, lusts after power, you have the Four of Pentacles, which in the toss is power. Mechanistic power, using the mechanisms of power, not in a good way. Right? Use and abuse of power. Coming out, he has the Six of Cups, traditionally the nostalgia card, but in the toss, it's called pleasure, the Six of Things. At the moment, he's okay. He's not threatened. He's not under threat of extinction. He's not under threat of assassination. He may be under threat of impeachment a little bit down the track, but at the moment, things are okay for Barr. So what's happening a bit further out? Well, viewers, I'm glad you asked. The Tower. He will crash and burn in the aftermath of this, but this is further out. He seems to get away with it, but he doesn't. The all-seeing eye, because he is naked, he's been unveiled, he's pulling it off for now, the all-seeing eye overseeing the crash of the Tower. I so hope this comes to pass. As we know with tarot, I don't know if that's in 2 months' time or 2 years' time. I wish I did know, but I don't. So, astrology is very good for actual timelines. So some of you I know watch certain key political astrologers, so you can get back to me and tell me what they say about William Barr, you know, and the timeline. But I can tell you with confidence, he's not going to get away with it in the end. Okay, so we know the Mullah-Barr relationship is over. After all the work Mullah did, he cannot pretend to preserve the friendship at this point. He must be stewing. I think he's relieved on one level, but not overall. How appalling to have this pulled out and having someone like this set fire to your work. Ooh, so ugly. So, oops. One more question before I move on, which is, let me just check my notes here. Oh, yes, Barr, again, Barr's refusal to testify. You have the Attorney General of the United States refusing to testify. Again, my question is, where is the outrage? Where is the outrage? So I'm hoping May and June, people are beginning to come out of the feeling of being really beaten up and slapped around by the system, because that is what has happened. It's been very grueling. I know from your comments it's been especially grueling for you guys. But are people going to continue to watch it unfold and not protest, or are they going to protest? But in terms of this particular aspect here, what I want to look at is, will there be repercussions of him not testifying? Nancy sort of jumped over Trump and has gone, we could impeach Barr. But will they? Will Barr be impeached? And I'm using the term impeached as an umbrella term, you know, some sort of censure of him legally. Will Barr be pulled up by the Dems or not? Will Barr be pulled up by the Dems? Will Barr be pulled up by the Dems? This is quite a shocking spread in some ways, viewers. I'm going to have to do a clarifier on the outcome, because it's the outlier and it doesn't fit with the rest of the readings. So in order to get through all the material I want to get through today, I'm going to move quite quickly here. In the middle, the Seven of Swords. Rider-Waite has this as the rip-off card. This is what can I get away with card, but it's also in the Thoth deck, futility. Is it futility for Barr trying to save Trump and not working, or is it futility for the Democrats? There's defeat. That's why this whole reading, it's a matter of deciding, is it Barr or the Democrats? There is the card of defeat. The Six of Swords. I'm using this now as my evangelical card, all the swords pointing through the cross. I've actually done a video that I haven't uploaded yet on the need for Christian leadership and questioning the leadership that is out there. I think there's going to be a lot of momentum around that. Okay. On top, sorrow, right? So we have here, this is the classic Three of Swords with the pierced heart. Barr or the Dems, Barr or the Dems. So you can see what I mean. It's very bad for one or the other. But outcome card, Queen of Cups, the Queen of the Emotions, who will get there in the end. This is a woman who might turn it around. I don't see Nancy Pelosi as Queen of Cups. Generally, she's not the most warm and fuzzy of the queens. I'd see her more as the Queen of Swords or even the Queen of Wands. But Queen of Cups, it might be Nancy, but it could be another woman like Kamala Harris or somebody like that. It could even be Elizabeth Warren. So I want a clarifier on this. So I'm going to use my new little clarifiers, the little cute cards. Cute cards. So, first of all, I'm going to ask, is it Barr or the Dems? Barr or the Dems, and then the Queen of Cups. Barr or the Dems. Privileged lady. Privileged lady on top of the Queen of Cups. Could be Pelosi, could be Pelosi. What else can we get out of this? A child, looking after the children. This is symbolic. When we have something like the child card here, it's symbolic of the future. It's symbolic of young people. So we have a privileged woman, the Queen of Cups, thinking of the children. So whoever this person is, and I think it's a Democrat woman, she's acting for the future of America, future generations, the children of now. So that still leaves a slight ambivalence here, viewers. Does this mean the Dems will be defeated in this and not be able to get Barr, but that will give them the strength to do this later on, because this is future? Right? I'm sort of leaning to that example now. I'm not going to read further on this because I'm not hearing an answer to my question, Dems or Barr, and I don't want to steer it in a particular way. But it's going to be a radical disappointment for either Barr or the Dems. But regardless of all that, this is what's important too, that it's going to lead, this could be a woman also we haven't met. By that I mean isn't in the public gaze on a daily basis. It could be a female reporter who has cut through. It could be Letitia James. Whoa, I'm liking that. It could be Letitia James. But I think it's someone more from old established wealth, because it's a privileged lady. Letitia James came up the hard way. She came up in a working class household with a big brain and made good and got herself into Harvard. She didn't have someone pay them millions of dollars to let her in. She did it the hard way. So it's perhaps not Letitia James, it's someone more conventional privilege, looking out for the children. So we'll keep our eye on that. Sorry it couldn't be more conclusive. But I want to get back to the Yeti now, because on top of everything else, his response when the National Firefighters Union came out to support Biden, he went mad. He lost it. Intrepid viewers, he completely lost it. It was something like 60 tweets and retweets or something. He was apoplectic over this stuff. Someone's jumped on top of his grave with 2 big feet, and he cannot handle it. He cannot handle it. So, while I'm shuffling the cards on Trump's reaction to all this, let's just talk about that. So, those of you who've watched my videos from way back in the beginning will know, unionist. Now, when I first got a job in America, 1979, in San Francisco, I was a legal secretary, and they said if I worked for 2 years for this company, I would get 2 weeks annual leave. And I said, I'm sorry, I didn't think I heard them right. Because in Australia at that time, 4 weeks annual leave was absolutely normal for every job, whether you worked for the local council as a street sweeper or a university or a hospital or any job, built the railways, anything, built in was 4 weeks paid leave a year. And I couldn't believe people in the States were getting 1 week and 2 weeks after working for years. What is that? But we had strong unions, right? Notice I'm speaking in the past tense, viewers. Because around the same time as you had Reagan, unions started getting attacked here. If you go back to that time, virtually 40 years ago, that's when wages stopped. You kill the unions. No one's had a wage rise for 40 years in normal jobs. The disparity between rich and poor has done this. If you look back, an executive of a company was earning roughly 30 times what someone on the bottom of the company was earning. They earned 30 times more. Now it's 300 times more than the average worker. So in terms of safety, we have real problems now. We had a good safety record in the mines, gone. We had a good safety record in the building industry, gone. Now every bricklayer is a subcontractor to the bogus company that is running that site. There's industrial injuries and death. This is what happens when you wind back the unions, right? You get no rate. Look what's happened with teachers. You know, they haven't got any support in the States. We still have strong nurse unions. We still have strong teachers union. But a lot of the other unions have been attacked, and this is what happens. When they bite back, Trump just lost it. So my question today is, how's Trump going to handle the inevitable criticism that happens during a campaign? This is just run-of-the-mill stuff where your record is torn apart as the sitting president, when you're challenged every which way. How's he going to handle the campaign? How's Trump going to handle the campaign? Oh. There he is. Yes. All right. So this distribution of cards sort of sums up Trump in many ways. 10 of discs, dynastic money. He inherited money. He's never worked a day in his life. I'm sorry. Signing fraudulent checks does not constitute work, Donald. No, you haven't ever worked. Rona Graff did your admin. Your bent lawyers covered your ass. Your bent accountants made money happen for you. This is his dynastic privilege here. Hasn't worked a day in his life. Now, behind, oh, and of course on top, here he is, the Emperor. He always turns up as the Emperor for me. So, you know, here he is as Nero, Donald Nero Trump. This is in his recent past near-death experience. This is, I'd say, more than one experience. This is all the things he's done that should have been the end of his presidency but weren't. Right? Should have been but weren't. He's fighting the Six of Wands. He's fighting them off. Coming out, he does have the Strength card. This is a Major Arcana card. But in the Thoth deck, it's known as the Lust card. This is saying to me there could well be another sexual scandal, but I'm not confident another sexual scandal is going to cut it, because the evangelicals are now saying outright, in the light of day, God has chosen this man. I mean, really? Really? What is wrong with these people? Okay. An outcome, he's going to keep fighting because he's the Prince of Darkness. He's the Prince of Cups. This is the card that is very like the one Barr got, being pulled by the bull. This is very similar. Cups are emotion, and this is the Dark Prince. So he plays on dark emotions. So he is going to experience very dark emotions and then put it out there with the Strength card. But this is going to unveil his dark side. Until now, what's happened is, if you're a Trump supporter, he keeps telling you things you want to hear. Right? He's your guy. And they see funny Trump. You know, the guy who says, oh, I'll turn my back if the police, you know, brutalize a prisoner. Oh, you know, here's a protester. I'm going to turn the other way if he doesn't make it home type stuff. All that ugly Trump stuff that they love, okay, but they haven't really seen his dark side. And I'd be very interested in the firefighters, as an example. How many of them voted for Trump? Traditionally, they're union guys, the Democrats, but I bet a huge number of them voted for Trump because people love simplistic ideas. You know, I'm your guy. I'm going to make America great again. That's cool. I'll vote for him, you know. Ooh, duh. So what's going to happen is America and the world are going to see his dark side. We who are critical of Trump always have known about it, you know, his bent, corrupt underbelly. But a lot of people have missed it. They're now going to see it. Coming forward during this campaign, ugliness. His ugliness will be revealed. It is therefore up to the American people to decide what to do with this ugly, incompetent, dinosaur president. So, I'm looking forward to the campaign. I mean, eventually we're all going to get sick of it. But in the meantime, the juicy bit, the very juicy bit, is how any Republican contenders are going to get on, whether anyone can get over Trump. That's another reading another day, or not. But they're going to be able to say things about him they couldn't say before. And that's going to be interesting. So, before I go, I just want to say very quickly, I will upload the Christianity video soon too. Love you guys. I'm back. I'll be doing more videos. There's so much to cover. That was a little taster. Right. Bye for now.